I was actually very excited because I thought that position was about to get even more exciting. But Levon Aronian decided, actually, he didn't like what was happening from the white side. He wasn't fully comfortable with his position, probably because of the white king, still stuck in the center, potential target, and even if it does castle on this side, it will never be safe. It has no shelter over there, no protection. So maybe Levon Aronian just nervous about the future of that white king, deciding, okay, it's time to bail out. It's time to escape from this game, force a draw, live to fight another day. And he brought his knight forward, attacking the black queen. Suddenly this knight threatening the black queen. As I mentioned, it could not be captured. Do not take this knight because suddenly the white rook will spring up and take the black queen. So that black pawn was pinned. It could not capture the knight. And in this position, the problem for black is you want to retreat the queen, but you have to keep this pawn protected. It is about to get snagged by the white rook, so you have to step to the side. That's one of the only safe squares to keep that pawn protected. White's knight jumps in. To me, it looked suicidal. It looked like this knight was getting trapped. But the whole idea is, again, you're hitting the black queen, which needs to keep protecting its pawn. So black has no other safe square other than this one to keep the pawn protected. And now white just repeated the position, dropped back with the knight, the queen sidestepped, and a continuous attack against the black queen.
Yeah.
So in this position, Ding thought he had spotted a killer trick, but it actually rebounded. It did backfire. Black here sacrificed his knight for just a pawn, hoping that Magnus Carlsen would automatically recapture this knight, and the black bishop would now be the fantastic piece. It would do all the damage because of this pin. After bishop takes pawn, white is in huge trouble. The bishop and queen teaming up to attack the white king. However, Magnus Carlsen had realized that in the previous position, he did not need to take this knight yet. First, he brought his own knight into the game, attacking the black bishop and also defending this pawn. So that knight doing two jobs fantastically well. And Ding, there was nothing to do. The black knight is pinned, it's trapped, it's going to be dropping off on the board on the next move. The only way to save it is what Ding tried. He brought his knight to the side, giving check, but Magnus said, okay, I'm just going to take you. He takes this knight off, the black queen recaptures, and after knight takes bishop, we see that white temporarily a piece up. If black takes, then queen takes pawn, wins the game. The black rook would drop off next move. The game, and actually Vladislav Artemiev was winning for most of it. It was this moment he went to the wrong square with his king. He should step back and then try to go across to the pawn. Instead, he went from the side, and this allowed a miraculous trick, a really sneaky trick by Levon Aronian. He brought his knight to the bottom of the board. The white king tried to step back now, but this was the killer move. Check. The white king coming across, and now the pawn dropping down. This saved the game for black, because if the pawn is taken, the black knight would jump back. Check with a fork. So that was the trick which saved Levon Aronian the game. Actually, in this game, I don't want to highlight any exchanges that did happen. I want to highlight an exchange that should have happened. And it was actually in the final stages of this game. We mentioned that white has this killer attack, the white queen trying to come up the board. And one thing about exchanges is that you have to go for them if you're on the defensive. Trade off your opponent's attackers. The key attacker is your opponent's queen. So here, black had only one move. He should have brought his queen to the side of the board, exchanging off white's best piece. And now if we did see this exchange, the queen's coming off the board, then suddenly black has some hope. The black knight, especially in the center of the board, is suddenly the best piece. As long as you control that one square, as long as you keep your opponent's bishop bad, you have some chances in this endgame. So that's the key. When you're on the defensive, go for these exchanges. Get rid of your opponent's queen. And this move, bringing the black queen across, might well have saved the game for Artemiev. Levon Aronian, he was actually winning as black, but he knew a draw was enough, so he played safety first chess. And I just want to show the final position, the reason why white had to take the draw. We do see black has this extra rook. An extra rook is very powerful. White's rook as well, unable to join the attack. So white is just attacking with two pieces, and it's not enough. So white had to check on the correct squares. Actually, he could have set a cunning trap. He could have dropped his knight back to this square with a discover check, hoping that the black king just automatically moved, and then the white knight could actually deliver checkmate on this square. But the big flaw in this plan, the big flaw would have been if white's knight drops back, the black queen can just block this check. That's why the white knight had to use different squares. This queen trade would just win the game for black, and we did see the white knight just drop back and forth, repeating the position. It gave a check from this square and discovered again against the black king. The black king moved, and the position just repeated itself. No progress here. Black's king happy with two safe squares, and Aronian secured the draw.